Hi, Catherine. Dealing with Rett syndrome. When you're working with Rett syndrome, one of the difficulties is you have a diagnosis. And one of the good things is that you have diagnosis. Now, with Rett syndrome, as you know, it's one of the few rare genetics that has high tone versus a low tone issue. Doesn't mean you have synchronized movements. So one of the first things you need to work on is that spine. The spine to synchronize the movements and alleviate a lot of that tension off that head, the way that she's been allowed to lift the head versus going through the pelvis. And trying to move her eyes around, but then also she has issues with her vision with the axis of her eyes. So patching is really a must. I'd still like to keep an eye on those eyes because I question that the axis is it a 0 or a 0.3 versus a 90 when there seems to be nothing else up with the eyes, and then if it's just orbital configuration of that causing the eyes to have that abnormality. But really, first of all, what you're looking for patching is to allow the eyes to compare vision. We learned by comparison. So by patching both eyes, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, to give her just that awareness. Now, the second thing you're going to be looking for is where the eyes want to see. They should be a bit windswept because the axis wants to pull them, and that's where you're getting the pull of her movements is from the eyes. So when you're patching, I'm going to suspect the vision's going to be more here than on central vision. And so your first goal is just to bring the eyes to be attracted to central vision. And again, central vision, since they're both windswept, again, you don't want to go too far because I can't see it with patching, and then bring the eye maybe to the nose and then eventually over to the central of the eyes, because you're looking for that binocular vision, the eyes working together, and then for the convergence. But if I'm here, it's really hard to converge, and it looks like again that it's more neurological based when it's structural based from the eyes, and that's where you're getting good at reading the vision reports and what's necessary for your child to see. But that being said, her pubic bone strike really needs to be worked on. It is a common occurrence that the pubic bone strike, those issues of the movements do not set up with Rett syndrome. And that's where you don't get the stand, you don't get the good sit, you don't get, those kind of things, and play-based skills. And I've worked with a lot of Rett syndromes, but one of my dear clients, Hudson, has Rett's, and it's a male form of it, Fox gene 1. And so, I have such fond memories of what he is and who he is and his family. But anyway, the first thing you want to do is working on the spine synchronized with the vision. But I would probably also do the head and the vision course, and then just some of the spinal work that I do. And those would be your first two priorities to see if you can alleviate, again, the movements of the body for vision versus the movements for function. And that's been prolonged, and we need to grab that back too. So we need to be a bit aggressive with those kind of movements with her to get her to start working more functionally with her basic skills. Thanks.